Hello, everyone.
We're back. Hi guys. We're back home too. We're not in the cottage right now, and that's okay. Back to school season. So
Yeah, we're also not in Quebec City,
no,
which is sad because
that's
it's
really
such a
sad.
beautiful place.
Yeah. Anyway, today's topic is kind of exciting because way back, I don't even know how many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, a certain book came out that a lot of people really devoured, and it was really a great book.
Mm-hmm.
Is really a great book. It's a great introduction. And it was The Secret. So it talks about manifesting and how to bring in what you want, how to attract what you want into your life. Really great movie, also. So they came out with a documentary some years after the book came out.
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, which is kind of like the Cole's Notes. If you don't have time to sit and read the book, watch the documentary because it was really good. But there seemed to be a missing piece.
Or a couple.
Everybody's making their vision boards, and everybody's, replacing the negative thoughts with positive thoughts, and trying to stay, connected to what they want, and not pull up the seeds before they root or whatever. So it's like, but most people, probably most people fell flat in actually making any of these manifestations happen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one major block to that. And what is that?
It's your belief system.
It's your belief system. It's wonderful to walk around and say, hey, I want to manifest $1 million. Yep, I'm gonna put my mind to it somehow. I'm gonna make my vision boards, and I'm gonna store them away, and I'm gonna just trust that all those things on my vision board come true. But if you don't have that deep inner belief and self-worthiness, you're not gonna make it happen. So so we consulted with the guides on this one. Mainly Yeshua, because he's my favorite dude to chat with. Anybody not familiar with that name, that is Jesus. Yeshua was his real given name, according to my channeling and many others. So anyway, we're gonna kind of go through the notes that we have that have been channeled for us from my guides and from Yeshua.
And just talk about manifesting and sort of aspects that we need to embody, that we need to, accept and take into ourselves so that we can successfully manifest what we want.
Exactly. And for any of you wondering, that cute little building in the background is the Black Cat Bunkie. So you'll see that on the banner of the YouTube page. You'll see the sign. That's where I do most of my readings, my channelings. That's where I go to meditate. That's my little backyard oasis. And that's where I find the dogs behave the best too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we'll get started with kind of the question and answer format that we normally do. So here's what they say. And I also was asking, like, why is there such a lag time between, putting out there what you want and it actually showing up? So there's a bit of that in here too. And so we start with manifestation in the physical world often involves 3 layers: energetic alignment, mental and emotional clearing, and physical density. So I'll start with number 1, energetic alignment. So
Try that again, honey.
The wine, it's working for my lips. It's after dinner. It's our little treat.
So you're saying the energetic alignment?
The energetic alignment. The moment you form the intention and feel it as truth, it is already created in the unseen. Number 2, mental and emotional clearing. Here's the big piece. Clearing any subconscious programs, doubts, or timelines of not yet can act like static, creating a perceived delay. Number 3, physical density. The 3D layer of matter is slower and more resistant. Energy has to ripple down through the grids, reorganizing people, places, opportunities, and resources before it crystallizes. So the lag is not punishment nor proof that you are failing. It is the natural settling of new vibrational patterns into dense form. So yeah, it takes those 3 kind of steps to get it all lined up so that it shows up for you.
You know, the mental and emotional clearing could be its own YouTube piece.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I know that we've talked about sort of the programming as we've grown up, and
The conditioning, the programming, yeah.
yeah, and so, you know, I think about this in context of manifesting, and I know we'll touch on it more later, but you know, all of that mental conditioning for, you know, I'm not worthy to receive it, or any of those types of thoughts, when in reality you need to clear it. You need to believe that you are worthy. You need to believe that you deserve it. You need to believe that it is a part of what you should have.
And it's not enough to believe it with your conscious mind, because you can say all those things. Oh yes, Jay, I believe that I can manifest $1 million by next week. My subconscious mind does not
I'm
believe
okay
that.
if she does,
Well,
by the way.
my subconscious mind does not believe that for 1 second. I grew up in a household where, you know, money was, you know, it wasn't overly abundant, it wasn't overly scarce, but there was rules, and there was, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, and you know, we can't afford that this week, or we can't afford that this year, or, you know, and it's all subtle conditioning. It's not like somebody has set out to put, you know, put you up against money, but it definitely is, it's subtle. So you have to go in and unwind that at a deep level. It's not just like, oh yeah, no, I'm just going to change my mind right here and now. We all know, if you've listened to, oh man, who's the dude we love who's really scientific? Is it Greg Braden? No, it's the other one.
Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza, thank you.
There's quite a few.
You can't change your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. It just doesn't work like that. So anyway, we'll continue on how to shorten the lag.
So your guides are clear. You cannot fully bypass divine timing, but you can reduce the delay. Live in it now. When you embody the vibration of already having, you collapse timelines. The body, emotion, and energy fields begin resonating with that reality, drawing it faster. Release time pressure. Ironically, the more you check, why isn't it here yet? The more you pin yourself to the absence. Trust collapses time. Witness synchronicities. And this is something I found very interesting.
Okay.
I know you've talked about it a number of times. Sometimes during the process, there are small signs arriving and manifesting in the process. So acknowledge these breadcrumbs, and the full form will flow faster.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah. Clearing contradictions. If part of you still feels undeserving, unsafe, doubtful, the field pauses until that piece is healed. Reassurance, self-compassion, and surrender removes blocks. So in other words, yes, you have to do the shadow work. You have to have the emotional component dealt with internally to be able to manifest what you're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't manic. It isn't. Pardon me. It isn't magic.
It's not manic either.
It's not manic either. But it's not magic. It's manifesting.
Yeah.
And the last point here is partner with grace. Invite Yeshua, Archangel Metatron, your star family, whomever you wish, to hold the field of your intention. Co-creation accelerates when you allow higher currents to carry it.
Yes. So it's like asking for help, but not begging. Because when you're begging for a certain outcome and it's not aligned to you, like you may not even realize at that point in time that that's really not the highest timeline for you. It's more important to ask for the abundance in the best way possible for it to show up for you. Not like, I need to win the lottery. You're really limiting yourself if that's the kind of manifestation you're doing. But you had said, embody the vibration as if you're already having it. That's like almost like pretend. It's almost like you have to
Fake
kind
it till
of
you make it.
fake it till you make it. It's always been one of my favorite lines. Dress the part, act the part.
Yeah.
Don't get silly. Don't go run up your credit cards thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to manifest so it'll all be paid off.
Yeah, it's not about being irresponsible and foolish. it's about embodying the vibration that you're trying to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So, a lot of those old adages like fake it till you make it, dress for success, all those sorts of things are really, they are truthful in that if you start living what you are attempting to manifest, then it will just speed towards you faster. And I think that's why when I spoke about the synchronicities and witnessing those synchronicities, that's another piece. It's no different than when you're lifting weights and you make a 5 kilo jump, or you make or you get an extra rep, and you record it and you notice it, and you can say, hey, I am getting stronger, I am improving, I am getting better. And that's really what we're talking about here when we say witness those little synchronicities.
Yep.
It may not be the million. You may not. You're not going to open up the mail, or I shouldn't limit you.
No,
but,
exactly.
But
these are examples only.
You
not...
go to the mail and you pick up an envelope. $1 million check is probably unlikely. However, if money is what you're working on manifesting, you may find that a colleague from the past reaches out and contacts you and has, hey, are you able to teach a couple classes?
Yeah.
Things like that. And you're like, wow, I was working on manifesting money, and now I have this offer, $1,200, whatever it is. And those are the sorts of things that you can acknowledge, and those are the sorts of things that speed you along that path and make it happen quicker.
Yeah, it's so true. And I remember when I did a vision board, good Lord, probably 15 years ago. And
didn't we all?
I did, yeah. I pulled it out from behind the couch 4 years ago, and it was full of cat hair and dust. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, nope. Because all of those things, are not part of my higher self's plan.
Yeah.
And B, a lot of them are outside my belief system. So I'm looking at this going, all right, there's something flawed about the delivery of the information. And maybe it's because there's so much information, we can only absorb bits and pieces at a time, and then we go away and try to do it with only half the information. But we're here to kind of revisit it.
Well, yeah, and it's to a large extent, I think it's the difference between what we think we are supposed to want and what we actually want.
Yeah.
And so if we're trying to manifest something we think we're supposed to want, then there's going to be resistance. That's Charlie and Tina.
We have a noisy dog.
We have two dogs, but we have one that's very noisy.
Yeah, that'd be our Charlie.
Yeah.
He's a barker. So lots to think about. I mean, I think we all, if you've watched The Secret as many times as I have, or read the book even, you have a pretty good base of what needs to happen. The biggest piece is healing those belief systems. So Yeshua, aka Jesus, and I feel like I keep needing to say that because there's still that disconnect in the name. His comment on this section of it is, you are already standing inside the prayer answered. The field has said yes the moment your heart said yes. The only gap you feel is the illusion of time. So again, we're back to a linear time thing, right? Like we're not in that space where we can manifest like this yet. We're getting there. Breathe as though it is here now. Walk as though it is here now. Bless the unfolding as holy, and the new reality will meet you on the path. And I'm going to add that if you're trying to manifest from fear, you are not going to manifest. If you are manifesting from love, you are definitely going to very much more quickly manifest, and it will be more solid.
Yes, you need from a place of gratitude.
Yeah. Gratitude, love, joy, whatever it is, they all kind of fall under the same love umbrella. And I can give you a quick example of that. You and I have talked about this. Our one dog, Tiva, is a rescue, and she's She's a husky.
She's awesome.
An Aussie Shepherd, so runner, full of energy. Anyway, she took off on me the one day at the cottage earlier this summer, and we have this big wooded hill behind us, and oh my Lord, we also have a ton of ticks and all that stuff. She was gone. I couldn't find her. I was panicking. I decided to tune in to the guides, and I was like, okay. And I went to Archangel Ariel or Uriel at the time. I can't remember. And I said, okay, what do I do? And the message I got was, stand there in love, in your backyard. Stand there in love, not fear, and call her name 3 times. No word of a lie. I had to take a second to get into love because I was in fear, and I had to rejig that whole emotion. Once I did, no word of a lie, on the 3rd uttering of her name, she came barreling up the driveway behind me and sat right in front of me like, hi, Mom. Wiggling her little bum, and I'm like, and I'm looking around going, thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, it also depends on where you're sitting, and I think we're going to touch on that again, but I get really excited about these topics, so
It's okay.
I jump ahead. So yeah, you're next there.
Thanks, honey. Yeah,
You're
we're going to
welcome.
talk a little bit more about The Secret, the
Yeah.
book and the movie. And The Secret only shows a part of how to manifest, and it misses the mark on some of the things. It was a great starting point for information, but there are some things that are missing. So the question that Joanne asked the guides is, can you help us fill in the gaps, please? And of course the guides said yes. The Secret did what it was meant to do. It cracked open a doorway. It brought the idea of creation through thought and feeling into mainstream awareness. But like any doorway, it could only show you the first room, not the whole house. Your team wants you to understand the missing layers that complete the picture.
Yeah. Beautiful. So we'll start with those layers. There's quite a few. This is probably a little bit of a longer episode. I'm not sure. But so number 1 is The Secret overemphasized wanting. It taught people to ask, believe, receive, but didn't emphasize the state of being. So again, that kind of goes back to what I just talked about. When you're in a state of fear or lack or resistance, trying to manifest from that place is not going to be successful. Manifesting from love, joy, gratitude, totally going to work for you, as long as you have the belief system to back it up. When we say in a state of wanting, let me say this again. When we stay in a state of wanting, we continue to vibrate lack. True manifestation is not desire shouting into the void, but embodiment, feeling as though it already is and living from that state. So it truly is a deep belief in the fact that you deserve it, that you can have it. But we were taught through our whole lives, through churches and schools, that we're not worthy.
And our family.
That we're not worthy. And in fact, I'm going to touch on this again. There's a certain church where you stand up on a Sunday and you say, I am not worthy, but only say the word and I shall be healed. Guess what? You are worthy. And that's bullshit. So, yeah, sorry, a little passionate there. Okay, number 2. The missing role of the subconscious. So here's where we get into it. The movie brushed over how deeply the subconscious mind runs the show. If the conscious mind says, I want abundance, but the subconscious holds fear, shame, or unworthiness, the subconscious always wins. This is why healing, forgiveness, and shadow work are essential parts of manifestation that The Secret largely skipped. I think that's the biggest piece in my opinion, but yeah, there's lots more here. Number 3, it underplayed action. Most people thought it was about visualizing from the couch until a check arrived in the mail.
It's kind of, well, that's the magic thing.
Well, right? And even like writing out your own pretend check and stuff. And that's wonderful. And it's all part of the magic. But if you don't have the belief that you deserve it, you're still out of luck. That check's going to show up with zeros on it.
Yes, and nothing in front of the zeros,
That's right.
unfortunately.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying that. And B, in truth, inspired action is the bridge between the invisible and visible realms. Your higher self nudges you with intuitive steps. If you ignore those nudges, the flow slows. So when you ask for something, when you pray for something, whatever you call it, if you're not heeding the nudges, if you're not listening to your intuition, that's how spirit guides you. That's how your higher self guides you to this abundance. So if you're sitting back and going, no, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like making another video tonight because, we only have, a couple hundred subscribers. What's the point? And it's like, hey, I know how it feels. You know how it feels. You can run yourself down. You can you can talk.
It's easy to curl up on the couch and turn on the TV and not do a thing.
Yep, and you can talk yourself out of your abundance just like that. So, press on. Not nails either. Not press on nails. Sorry, bad mom joke. I don't know.
It's all good, dear.
Yeah, so your higher self nudges you with intuitive steps. So if you ignore those nudges, you might not make it to your goal. Not in the way you want.
And it didn't talk about the higher plan. So the secret presented manifestation is purely personal. You can have anything you want. What it did not emphasize is divine orchestration. That what comes must align with your soul contract and your collective good. Sometimes delay or redirection is actually grace, protecting you or guiding you to something even more aligned.
Yes.
I mean, how many times have we had, some silly situation hold us up from, leaving for work on time? And as you're driving to work, you're rerouted because there was an accident.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm not saying you would have been in the accident, but I know it's crossed my mind a number of times.
You
right?
might have been delayed.
And it's
by
like,
it.
oh, was I held up at home because,
Yeah.
It didn't talk about the heart field. The film focused heavily on the mind and your thought, but the true magnet is the heart. The heart's electromagnetic field is thousands of times stronger than our brain. When thought and heart feelings merge, manifestation accelerates. Without the heart, it can feel hollow and misaligned. The collective dimension. The secret frame manifestation as only individual. But we're now learning that co-manifestation through group intention, planetary grids, collective resonance is exponentially more powerful. So this is why things like our sound baths or any sound bath,
Yeah.
Joanne's soul signal work, gatherings of light beings are so potent and they multiply the manifestation.
Yep.
Right.
Group readings all coming together. When you come together with a similar intention, even if it's just to find peace of mind, coming together and like Jesus said before, like 2 or more gather in my name, and more miracles can happen, more power behind that intention. So there's a lot more to it than just being artistic on a piece of bristlecone.
And I'm always drawn back to the action piece, because again, manifestation is not about sitting
Passively
wishing and then something magically happening.
Yeah, like their Aladdin that they had on their movie part. They had like Aladdin in the documentary.
Yeah, I mean,
your wish is my command.
But again, you take the action.
Yeah.
Right? So that, you are creating your own manifestation.
Yeah.
Right?
Even if that action is simply clearing your subconscious beliefs.
Yeah. Making yourself open to receive.
And how do you clear those? How do you know what they are? Triggers. And I think we touched on this in other ones.
Yeah.
Triggers always highlight where you have beliefs that need to be looked at and released. So yeah, I'll just add that. But yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about something that triggered me today. anyways.
Well, you can share it if it's helpful.
I don't know if it's helpful. It's you know, the issue is one of entitlement, and people believing that you know that they are entitled. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, I'm sure everyone knows what entitlement is. I'm not going to get into the
Yeah,
details
I feel
of
like
the
you're treading
situation.
on thin ice
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not wanting to
yeah.
call anybody out.
I
So,
don't want to call anyone
yep.
out. It's okay.
That's all
It's
right.
okay.
So the next one, go
Well, you
for
were
it.
gonna-
It's you. Oh, did you already do that one?
No,
The
you were going to
collective?
read the message.
I thought number 6. Did you do number 6?
Yep, I did.
Okay. Okay. The secret. So again, this is Yeshua's kind of closing note on that section. The secret gave the key to the door, but not the map of the house. The map is being revealed now through those who live from wholeness, healing, and surrender. Manifestation is not about bending life to your will. It is about aligning your will with the higher will, and then the universe rushes to meet you. So the higher will is, your higher self, the bigger plan that you came here with, and also the higher will of the collective around you. Like, does it serve everybody, or is it just serving you? So it kind of has to blend on all levels. So yeah, so then we had a question which Jay is gonna go into.
So there are so many people walking around with heavy, dense belief systems and patterns that are still trying to manifest $1 million. But their belief systems around money don't support that. What advice can we offer these people?
So my guide said, you are right. Many people are trying to call in abundance while carrying belief systems that whisper the opposite. They are affirming, I am wealthy, while their inner child is saying, I am not worthy, or money is dangerous. The outer request and inner vibration don't match, so the field stalls. Here's the advice your team would have you offer them. Number 1, heal before you amplify. Trying to manifest big wealth while carrying unhealed scarcity wounds is like pouring gold into a cracked vessel. First, meet the wound. Where did money feel unsafe? So think back to your childhood. Like what are the stories in your childhood? What are the repetitious things you remember your caregivers saying to you about money?
My parents, they both drink black coffee now, because when I was little, they couldn't afford to have milk in their coffee anymore because I needed the milk as a baby. And so they gave up milk in their coffee so that I could have it as a child, which is beautiful. Thank you.
Very beautiful. And in their minds, very necessary.
Yeah, at that time. And so therefore, that is the type of story that, from me being a baby, it roots or creates that programming of scarcity, of fear, of lack.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of layers to go through.
Yeah, there is. And
even the train agrees with us.
Yes. We had a noisy neighborhood today. So yeah, when we think back to those childhood things, and you might even, I have a friend who a few months ago, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, I won't use her name, but her parents used to believe that you don't sign contracts on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, is there a reason behind that? And she couldn't come up with one. She just remembered that was a rule in her parents' lives. You don't sign contracts on Friday. So, a little while ago, her daughter was buying a house, and she was gifting her daughter some money towards the house, and the lawyer needed mom to sign, a thing saying this was a gift and not a loan. And it was Friday morning when her daughter called and said, Mom, I need you to go to the lawyer's office and sign this thing. And immediately her back bristled, and she was about to blurt out that it's Friday, I can't do that. And all of a sudden she was like, wait a minute, who cares? It's Friday. these kids need this. Let's get it done. And what is that belief anyway? So she went and did it. She broke a pattern right then and there.
Yeah. Good for
And
her.
and that's a small win. But those are the types of things when you start doing over and over again, breaking those patterns or even recognizing them. That's a huge win. So yeah, I'm not sure where I left off.
It's okay. Because we're going to talk about shift from wanting to worthiness.
Yeah.
So encourage them to stop chasing the million and begin embodying worthiness in small daily ways.
Yes.
Buy the fresh flowers. Treat yourself kindly. Notice abundance in sunlight, in breath, in friendship, in simple things. This builds the nervous system's capacity to feel safe with more. Again, it doesn't have to be instantaneously everything. If you notice those things as you're moving through, if you're able to live in gratitude, sorry, I'm just looking at you being very grateful. If you're able to live in gratitude, it really will make such a difference in your life.
Yeah.
And it allows you to start moving down those paths so that you can manifest things like $1 million.
Yeah. So that it just comes naturally when you're living in joy and in gratitude and genuine connection and flow. Things really do start coming in beautiful ways that you don't even expect. So yeah, number 3, or you already did that. Release
Nope.
the idol of the dollar.
Nope, that's you.
Oh, that's me. Look at me. When money is idolized as the solution, it becomes heavy and resistant. Teach them to see money as energy, a current, a river that flows to those who can hold it lightly. When they chase the river, it recedes. When they become the river, it flows. So again, it's like if you're chasing something, anything, even if it's a person, if you're chasing a relationship, you're chasing a dog, Tiva.
Yeah. Hi, honey. Hi, Tina.
Yeah, in those cases, call in Archangel Ariel. But yeah, if you chase anything, you're not going to catch it usually.
Yeah.
So you need to sit with it. You need to honor it as an energy, just like you. And then practice alignment, not strain. So that's the next piece. It's not about pushing, scripting, or forcing the mind to believe. It's about aligning thoughts, feelings, body, and soul in the same direction. If they affirm abundance but feel dread in their stomach, that discord is what manifests. The work is to soothe and realign, not bulldoze over the dread. So, I mean, the bottom line here is there's work to do. If you want to manifest the wonderful things, you have to release the stagnant beliefs, behaviors, patterns, all of that stuff.
You have to question your beliefs. Anything that makes you angry is something you need to sit with and think about.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, in this, and I promise I won't go off on a big long tangent, but, you know, the polarization in this world creates so much anger and so much animosity. And I know that many of us are noticing, because we've talked about it, that it appears to be becoming more polarized, more angry, more extreme. And so, you know, when you have those beliefs or those things in yourself, you need to take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to understand, why does it make you angry? Why does it upset you?
Yeah.
Right? And you need to really deeply take a look at why that is, not just the surface, you know.
Money's a big trigger in a lot of people. I know in me, to sit down and have budget or money conversations, I will go into contraction.
Yeah, we both do.
Not as much anymore because I'm working on that. Yeah. But that is as a result of overhearing conversations of my parents around the dinner table, you know, late at night when they're sorting through bills, and, you know, and you can hear them and you can hear the strain and you can feel the worry and the fear. And, you know, those nights when they're doing their taxes once a year and everything's spread out all over the place and it just feels stressful. And it's like, that's what I remember about money. And you know, whether our parents hide that from us or they don't, or they, you know, they're not even thinking about hiding it. Why would they? It's part of life.
Yep.
But even if you aren't privy to hearing that stuff, you're still in the energy of it. You're still in their energy of fear around money. So you've still picked it up, whether you've heard them arguing about it or not. So that's still an impression on your subconscious mind that's keeping you from that money.
Yeah, and
or
again,
abundance of any kind.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, we've been using money because it's a very obvious example.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can analyze anything people want. I mean, love is another one.
Yeah.
And when I mean love, I'm talking about like romantic love,
Relationships,
like what we have.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, it's really very much the same sort of thing, right? You know, I mean, what is it? All the good ones are married or gay. I don't know. So, I don't know.
That's a belief, but that's true.
But those are
it's
the
not
sorts.
true.
No, it's not true.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like, these are the sorts of things, and so it creates that state of lack.
Yeah.
Where, you know, people are in the same situation, and they desire the companionship, they desire the appreciation,
Yeah.
they desire the tenderness, the love, and they want all of those things, and yet they don't feel worthy in themselves.
And I will add that is something that comes from the mouth of a heterosexual person who is looking for another heterosexual person to have a relationship with. If you are gay, then that is a really good thing for you.
Well, no, if someone's gay, then they're looking for another.
But they're probably saying they're either married or heterosexual.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm trying to make light of this because in no way are we. We love y'all. Yeah, I'm just.
I apologize.
It's an old.
Please don't take that as offensive.
It's an old saying from straight women.
Well, I was trying to think of things from my parents' era, right? Stuff that we grew up with.
Yes.
And so that is a phrase that came to mind from that era.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of offensive, inappropriate phrases that exist from that era.
Yes,
but
and that's not what was intended here.
No,
so.
not at all. Not at all.
Before you go crazy in the comments, we love y'all.
Yeah, that wasn't the intention.
Yeah. So the final whisper from Yeshua was, do not despise the day of small beginnings. One seed planted in faith grows into a tree that bears fruit beyond your imagining. If you are faithful with the little, you will be entrusted with more. Let abundance be a state of your soul, and money will become its shadow. So if you're faithful with the little, you will be entrusted with more. And I have found that not only in physical abundance, but in my channeling. The more they entrust me with information that they want me to share or not share, like, there's always information I get a lot of stuff, and not all of it I share, because not all of it is meant to be shared at this time. And as they feel they can trust me with more and more information, because I'm using it wisely, I get deeper and deeper stuff. So it's kind of the same thing. If you're trying to manifest, be grateful for those little gifts. You know, when somebody shows up with a flower for you, or a chocolate bar, a little gift, or you win a gift certificate for a grocery store or something. Those are little things that you need to be like looking up going, thank you. I appreciate this abundance. Might be $10. Who cares? It's still abundance. And if you show that you're grateful for that, the abundance will start to increase. You have to show that you believe you're worthy.
Mm-hmm. To receive.
Yeah. So
a question. I would like information for people on how to clear these patterns and beliefs. If they're going to get to their true manifestation level, how do they clear or even recognize these patterns that are keeping them stuck?
So the answer,
and that's a very good question, because again, like, I would appreciate this answer.
Yeah. So they say this is the heart of the matter. Yeah, Yeshua and your team are saying many try to paint a new picture on old canvas, but unless these strokes are cleared, unless the old strokes are cleared, the new image cannot fully shine. Let me read that again. This is the heart of the matter. Yeshua and your team are saying many try to paint a new picture on an old canvas, but unless the old strokes are clear, the new image cannot fully shine. So here's a loving practical path for recognizing and clearing limiting beliefs and patterns that block manifestation. First one is recognition. So it's almost like that day when you say, yep, I have this pattern and I've totally just realized that this is a pattern. Notice the charge moments. When someone else has money, how do you feel about that? When a bill arrives, how do you feel about that? Do you go into contraction and go, oh no, that's not going to help you? When they imagine wealth, do emotions flare? Jealousy, fear, guilt, anger, these are all signposts of a hidden belief. B, listen to the inner voice. Phrases like, that's impossible, people like me never get ahead, or money makes you greedy, reveal subconscious programming. Watch the reoccurring results. If the same financial struggle repeats, it's not bad luck. It's a mirror of the pattern waiting to be seen. So if you do the same old thing over and over, like you get a pile of money and then all of a sudden in 4 months it's gone, and then you're back to, okay, living paycheck to paycheck and trying to figure it out, and then running up your credit cards again and running up your debt again, and then you're back into the same hole again, and then boom, you get a nice little payout, and it, kind of pays down part of it, but then you get kind of silly again, and so you've got patterns to look at. Number 2 is excavation. And this is where you excavate into your soul, into your childhood, into wherever, because you're going to ask where it comes from. Where do these beliefs come from? Family inheritance is always the biggest one. Many beliefs come directly from parents. Language about money. We can't afford it. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are selfish. B, cultural and religious conditioning. Some carry vows of poverty, teachings that wealth equals sin, or cultural identities are tied to struggle. So yeah, and you know what? In past lives, if you carried a vow of poverty for any reason, if you were, a religious figure in a past life and you carried a vow of poverty, you're probably still carrying that now in this life because you haven't actually released it. So, something like QHHT might be also really important for excavating into these old belief systems because they might come from past lives. And you're in this life now trying to uncover it. So quantum hypnosis healing techniques. Yep. Quantum healing hypnosis technique. I don't know, but it's QHHT. Anyway, past lives and soul memory for starseeds and old souls. Trauma around wealth, power, or betrayal can echo into this lifetime. When people realize these beliefs are not their truth, but something absorbed, then they loosen their grip. So those beliefs just start to dissolve. You get the next part.
Thanks. So clearing, releasing the old frequency. Inner child dialogue. Sit with your younger self who learned money isn't safe. Speak love, safety, and truth into them. This will rewrite your nervous system. Somatic release. Beliefs live in the body. Breathing into the stomach, tapping, shaking, or sound like, for example, bowls, crystal bowls. This clears that stored imprint. Rewriting the script. Once the old belief is softened, create a new one. It is safe to receive. I am worthy of overflow. Abundance is my natural state. Energetic cord cutting. Visualize cutting ties with family or cultural vows of lack. Invite Archangel Michael, Yeshua, your guides, teachers, to release the inherited burdens. integration, living with the new belief. Micro manifestations. Start small. Intend for a free coffee, found coin, unexpected kindness. Each success proves the pattern and helps carry you along the way. Embodiment. Walk, speak, make choices as though you already trust the abundance. For example, buy one thing that feels aligned, not hoarded, just one thing that feels aligned with you. Gratitude and presence. Recognize daily abundance rewires, because it will rewire the mind into wealth frequency. That concept of gratitude. And I know often when I'm triggered or having a moment, because again, I'm human and I do, I do try to take a breath and go into that place of gratitude. And it is truly amazing how well it works.
It is. Yep.
And the last one, alignment with the soul. Finally, remind them, true manifestation flows when the new belief aligns with the soul's higher path.
Yes.
So not every desire is soul signed. When it is, it comes with speed and grace.
Yeah.
And so as you release, as you become more comfortable with who you are and become that better version of yourself that you want to be, you will just naturally start manifesting what you need.
Yeah. When you're out of fear and you're relaxed and in flow, and you just trust that your needs are going to be met and that, all will be taken care of in divine timing, then you're already there. And Yeshua follows that up with, you're not trying to become abundant. You already are. You are peeling away the lies that told you otherwise. With each layer released, the kingdom that was always within shines outward, and all things are added unto you. And I'm pretty sure I've heard him say this in the Bible back in, Catholic school. But, I don't know. It bears repeating over and over because the language of the Bible is kind of old and doesn't really, doesn't translate well to a lot of us. And even him speaking through us is very eloquent and different than how we speak. So it's kind of like,
most definitely.
yeah. So we do have a list of how to clear money beliefs and patterns. I'm not sure. We're just going to lightly touch on it because it'll make this video maybe a little too long. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I think lightly touching on it's a good idea.
Yeah, and I'm going to I'll post the wording in the description so that you have something concrete to go to. And if you're interested in using this clearing to help you get through this belief system. Some of you may sit back and go, no, this is too much work. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Yeah, that's okay too.
And that's okay.
I mean, it's your path, and you're welcome to do whatever works for you. Even if it doesn't work for you, you're welcome to do it because it's your life and it's your free will. But yeah, we do have, here you go.
Yeah, so at a very high level, I mean, we have to recognize and spot the belief, right? The triggers, the pieces like that, as we've been speaking about.
Yeah.
Right? We need to be able to recognize them.
Yeah.
Right? We need to excavate in the contents of figuring out where it came from.
Mm-hmm. Which
right?
we've kind of already talked about.
Yeah.
The excavation. Yeah.
And again, we've talked about clearing, right? Clearing and releasing this old energy so that we can truly be free of it.
Mm-hmm.
And rewriting our script.
Yep. So affirming out loud, it is safe for me to receive. I am worthy of overflow. Money is love in motion. And rewriting the script sometimes even goes deeper than that. It's like, my parents lived in very different times. They grew up in the Depression, in wartime and stuff. So their beliefs are way different than ours.
Yeah.
But yet those beliefs are in us. because that's how they conducted our household.
That's how we were raised,
Yes.
in that belief system,
Yeah.
right? Of the silent generation.
Yeah. So, yeah, so it's clearing that. It's realizing that, oh my goodness, yeah, money doesn't grow in trees. But it does come from a lot of different places, and there's so many places money can come from. There's so many places abundance can come from.
And there's also so many examples of what abundance is. And I think we need to be open to that.
Abundance is a beautiful kiss from the person you love.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And we will do that after we're finished.
TMI.
Anyways, integration, right? Walking that new path. Once we've cleared and rewritten the script, we need to then live it. And
embody it.
Embody it and continue to work with it and work on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Right.
can't let yourself slip back. You have to be consciously aware all the time of the script going in your head. And every time you pay a bill, pay it in gratitude. Don't pay it in fear.
Yeah.
And
Source flows through
source flows through me. Every time you pay something, every time you receive something, just say the little mantra in your heart, in your mind. Say it out loud if you can. Source flows through me. That's all it is. It's energy. It's source abundance. All right, we had a little bit of a problem there, but we're back and we're almost done. So,
Soul alignment.
yes.
And so, again, once we've integrated it, it really comes down to, is this part of your soul's higher plan? Right? And understanding what it is you want to do, need to do within your life. Is manifesting this along that path, or is it something divergent from that path?
Yeah, so an example of that is interesting because it kind of came to me back in my 20s when I was, or maybe even my teens. It was like I was trying to manifest a relationship, and there was this one particular guy, and he was the one. I needed to have him. He was the one. Try as I might, never came to pass. Don't even remember who he is at this moment, to be honest. But
Good.
It's just an example. and it broke my heart at the time. But then, of course, something different comes along, and you're like, oh well, this is much better, and it is much better for your current circumstances. And then 10 years later, you look back at that person you thought you had to have, and oh man, you're shaking your head going, so glad I did not end up with that for whatever reason. So yes, your higher self also has a plan for you. And that's where meditation comes in to learn to understand when your higher self is directing you towards something and when it's directing you away from something. And it's usually a feeling you get, right? And it's that feeling of this feels aligned. Or if you really sink into your heart and soul about something that you're trying to manifest and you go, yeah, probably don't really believe that I want that in the first place, but it just would help me right now in the short term. Well, that's kind of not good enough. This is more about long-term stuff.
No, your
For
life's
lack of a
path.
better
Your
word.
life's path.
Yeah. So Yeshua's closing message on that is, you are not chasing wealth, you are unveiling it. The Father's kingdom is already within you. Each belief you release reveals more of the truth. That you were never poor, only convinced you were. Yeah, and there's a lot of depth behind that statement. Because it's not just our upbringing that convinced us of that. It's the banking system, it's the financial system, it's the whole keep us small, keep
our
us
world is.
keep us compliant. Yeah. So there's more at play than just our upbringing, but I will post in the description the steps for clearing these beliefs, if it helps you. Hopefully it does. I know that we're constantly facing triggers and belief systems like on the daily. Like we are seriously stopping and going, really? That belief wants to come in right now and rule my day? I don't think so. So be consciously aware of everything that you're going through.
Yeah, and keep being kind to yourself. right?
Mm-hmm.
Because none of us are perfect. We're all going to be triggered at times.
Yep.
You know, we're all going to make little slip ups here and there. It happens. But be kind to yourself and be kind to others.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find life is a lot better.
Absolutely. We love you. Thank you. We will see you next time. I believe we're going to talk about boundaries.
Boundaries. Yes. Yes. We have a couple on boundaries. Good catch.
Thank you. Cat like reflex. Another little glitch, but just in time to say
happens.
goodbye. Thank you
Bye,
so
everybody.
much, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and
Oh, and like.
hit
if you
a like. Yeah, that would be amazing. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.